All right, we are live, people. All right, if you're watching this, you're on the PIT Archer channel, and no, hold on. All right, you're on the PIT Archer channel. Watching this, PIT talks to a sensei or whatever I titled this. And the man I have with me here is Jarhead6. Could you go ahead and tell everybody what you are and all that?
Yeah, I'm Jarhead6. I run a channel called Jarhead6, and I talk about guns, tactics, home defense, blades, pretty much whatever comes to my mind. That's what I talk about. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, one of the reasons I love watching you is because being a Christian, it's great seeing somebody on YouTube publicly say God is in control at the end of every video he does. I mean, and especially being a Marine.
oh yeah, I mean I I get a
Ah,
lot of negativity sometimes. I get positive. I mean it's all good. We live in a country where you could believe what you want, and if you believe in something else, that is your belief. And I believe in my God, you believe in yours, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying. We
yeah.
have the right to do that in this country versus other countries where they pretty much will kill you if you say you're Christian. So we live in a good country.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, just curiosity bringing up the Marines. My younger brother is going into the Marines. He's heading out to boot camp in July. And he asked me, and I wanted to ask you this: what was your retiring rank and what was your MOS?
I was a military police, and I retired as a rank of staff sergeant, which is E6 on the staff NCOs, and I retired close to 12 years in the Marine Corps because I sustained a couple of injuries, and you know what I'm saying. I wasn't good anymore. I had
Nah,
back I had back surgery, and apparently you have to be able to you have to have a good back to be in the Marine Corps. So
I bet.
they let me go. So it was a good time. I loved it. I would tell him to drink a lot of water and run a lot because Marines run a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, and drink a lot of water because it's going to be pretty intense.
All right, I'll pass that on to him. He's already
Yeah.
starting to work on all the workouts, going to the pool meets and all that stuff. He's loving it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, if it's not get to the standard where he could run, I wouldn't even worry about it because boot camp, that's what boot camp is for. I lost 47 pounds, 45, 47 pounds in 3 months in boot camp. So if he gets ready for it, it will be better because it won't be so painful.
Oh
But if
yeah,
he's not ready for it, trust me, after 3 months, he will be ready for it.
yeah.
So.
He's like 5'10" and a half and like somewhere around 145. So he's not in that bad a shape.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna. It's. I went to. Well, I want to say 11, 12, 13 countries in total, and I went to Spain, Turkey, Japan. I actually lived in Japan for a year and a half. Iraq, Afghanistan, things like that. So it's a good experience. So
That's awesome. It's actually part of my story. Part of why I'm excited for him because I wanted to be a Marine until I was called to preach. So that sort of stuck with me and why I'm doing this channel and all this because once you have an interest, it doesn't just leave you.
I tell you what, it's the Marine Corps needs God. So if I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't take that pass if that could be one of your goals. A lot of guys. If you actually look into the suicide rate right now, we got like 20 something kids killing themselves every day. So trust me, guys that believe in God, preaching a good war, are very very well needed in the Marine Corps. So
That's what
some
we've
people
been.
would, yeah, some people would disagree with me on that, but that's what I believe.
Yeah, that's part of what, especially my mother's been telling him is there needs to be more godly witnesses in the military than there are now. Just to change the reputation that the military has, we there needs to be good, godly, strong, godly people in there. And as I thought about being a chaplain for a little bit, but I asked my
Hmm.
pastor who was in the Navy, and he said if you're a chaplain, you better be ready to do whatever they tell you to. And I just don't
Yeah,
like being told what to say and what not to say. So
yeah. Well, you got the chaplains, especially then they each one has a different section. So I mean, you could be whatever religion you are, and you will meet those guys. But your overall job is to provide that person with his religious belief. So you know, if you're a Christian and you go and talk to this guy and he believes in something else, your job is to either find him some type of resources or find him something that it will meet his religious belief. So yeah, you can be technically you can be saying, hey, you know what, your religion sucks. Believe on my God, kind of thing. It
Yeah, I
doesn't work
know.
that way.
All
So
right. Yeah. All right. So if you watch if you're tuning in from Jarhead's perspective, let me introduce myself a little. My channel is called the PIT Archer channel. The PIT stands for Preacher in Training, and I call myself Archer even though I do a bunch of guns because that's how I got into it, and I have a few videos onto that. I love traditional archery, and that love will always stick with me. But let's go ahead and get started on some of the subjects I have on my cue card here. I've tried drawing up. How much have you heard about this new Georgia gun law, the Guns Everywhere bill?
man, I haven't heard much about it. Just let me know what it is.
All right. Earlier this year, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, our governor signed in a bill that passed through all the houses of Congress for Georgia, and it basically says that permit holders can now legally carry in churches, bars, schools, and government buildings with some restrictions. Now, mainly in churches, bars, and schools, the overhead committee, the pastor, or whoever the leadership is, has to allow the people to do it. If they say, okay, you can bring your guns in here, then you can bring your guns into the school or the church and all that.
Mhm.
So it's actually kicked into effect this month, and so let me just get your thoughts on it before I rant about it.
All right, so what you're saying is that now people are able to carry inside a church, a school, and all the places. Is that
Yes,
what you're
where
saying?
in government buildings it has to be where there is not already armed security or metal detector, from what I know. And schools, I think it's only allowing people that the board approves to carry in there. So it's not, it's not the guns everywhere. It's if you're allowed to,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't got a problem with that. As long as you could carry a gun, I'm a true believer that you should carry a gun any place that you can and is legally. I mean, we have seen a lot of cases where churches have been targeted by people. You know, was it maybe a year ago? 7 people got killed in a church by an active shooter situation. We see incidents in schools where we know that people getting shot. So yeah, I mean, I'm all about good American law-abiding citizen carrying a gun any place they can, and that's what I do. If I cannot go into a place where you could carry a gun, I typically tend to not go there. But again, in some cases, I don't have a choice. You know, like if I go to the Marine Corps base, you cannot bring a gun inside the base. I can bring a gun. You know, always obey the laws and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm good with people carrying gun any place they can.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I actually did a video on this. I tried starting a discussion between channels about it, but I'm all for it, especially in churches, because just think about it. If you're twisted enough to want to just kill a bunch of people, the church is the perfect place because everybody is there to be peaceful and quiet and not have any problems at all. Most likely, most of them are those hippie kind of Christians who don't want to who don't want to harm a fly, So it's just going to be easy. Come in when they're praying, just and open up on everybody. And adding to your illustration there, last year in Louisiana, a pastor was executed from his pulpit in the middle of a revival service. I
Mhm.
mean, a guy just walked through the back doors, walked through everybody praying, walked up to the pastor, and shot him execution style. Uh, to me, if you point any lethal object at my pastor, you better know where you're going when you die because you're going to see an anemic white boy do his best Chuck
Mhm.
Norris impersonation on you. Yeah, I mean, we should be able to protect the people who who we love and care for, and not be restricted because, oh, this should be a peaceful place. And people, um, for the Christians out there, it is not the 1800s anymore. People, common everyday people, somehow have lost the natural respect for the house of God. They just don't. That one church around here has had their sound equipment robbed from them uh, multiple times, and they have to set up security systems in their church to keep their sound system that's worth hundreds of dollars from being stolen. We need to
Yeah.
protect what we can. I mean, our country has the Second Amendment, as at least now it does. I mean, we have the Second Amendment, therefore we have the ultimate means to protect those that are dear to us and our property. And I hated that it was illegal to do that. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm glad we can do that now. Now, the one part everybody misses in the Guns Everywhere bill is it has to be number one, permit holders, people who are already legally doing it in the first place. They're not the gangbangers who just pick a gun off the street and go kill a bunch of people because they saw it in Grand Theft Auto. These are people who went through the legal loopholes, signed all those 0041 forms and all that stuff, went through all the expenses to protect themselves and those they care about. So
Yep.
it's number one, already people who are already legally doing it. Number two, the owners of the bars and the pastors and the leadership has to say that they allow it there. It's not just you
Well,
can take your gun everywhere. The leadership of that place has to say you can carry your gun here. And that's
yeah.
what everybody misses out on.
The problem you're gonna see when it comes to this now is that all those places that you're talking about, they're gonna put a big sign in the front door that says "No guns allowed." We've seen it before here in North Carolina when they changed the laws and they allow you to carry a gun in places where they sell. I think it was, yeah, places where they sell alcohol. And the first thing they do is put a sign on the front door that says "No guns allowed." So yeah, even though the state changes the law, the owner's business uh change the policies or whatever. So but then again, I mean, I'm good with that. A lot of guys complain about private property and things like that. I don't. If you own a business and you do not allow guns in your business, that is your right. That's what you do. That is your problem. Now I have the choice to support you or not. If I don't want to support Target because Target do not respect the basic fundamentals or the U.S. Constitution, which allows you to law-abiding citizens to carry guns. If you don't want me to carry a gun in your property, now that's on you. Now it is my choice to go there once a week and spend $150 in groceries, like for the whole family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I pick a different business. So once people see that kind of things, make a decision. Do you want to support it or not? Typically, I don't. I don't support people that do those kind of things. But excuse me. But people get too wrapped around in the whole, like, well, why Target is doing this, because they can. You got to realize this is a free country. If they want to make that decision, they have the ability to make that decision. Now, it is up to us to support them or not. Trust me, if every American says, Target, I'm not going to go and purchase nothing in one day, they will create millions of economic losses or whatever into that corporation. So if we want to make if we want to make damage to that company or whatever, stop supporting the company. And
Oh
it's
yeah. I mean, the gun rights guy in me wants to, buck like all these people are, and oh, you're such a horrible company. But the logical person and the capitalist in me understands they have a business to look out for, and if a bunch of people who carry ARs and Barrett 50 cals over their back are scaring people away, you got to protect your customers, and think about your customers' interests and your wallet, and say, okay, we don't want you scaring the people away from here. Please keep those away from here. So I mean,
yeah.
I totally understand why they made the decision, but these open carry rights people sort of force their hands. I mean, same thing as Starbucks and all those.
Yeah, I
But
think Georgia is an open carry state, right?
yes, it is. And
Yeah.
just an off the wall thing, I learned one day that it is legal to carry a handgun in Georgia without a permit if you open carry the handgun and it is completely unloaded.
Yeah, I mean, I have carry. I think Georgia too. Yeah, when I travel down home, I know I thought South Carolina didn't recognize my permit here in North Carolina, but I found out a couple of days ago that they did, and it's funny because every time I go down, I don't stop in South Carolina. I stop in Georgia to put gas because in my mind I was like they don't recognize my permit, and I think it was like 2 days ago. I'm looking through the policy. I was like, what the hell? They do recognize my like it's kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, the thing about open carry, and I made a video about this one time, and I got a bunch of negativity, but I don't care. If you go to my channel, you will see I'm gonna say whatever I want because it's my channel. If people don't like it, they could just unsubscribe. And trust me, I lose subscribers. I lose 10 subscribers a day sometimes. But the thing about that is the training. A lot of these guys say, okay, I'm educating the public. My intent of what I'm doing right now, other than self defense, is to educate the public. And I'm tracking on that. If you want to set up a place and you want to talk to people and let them know, hey, look, this is our rights. This is what you do. I'm tracking. That's good things. This is why we have YouTube channels to educate people in different rights. This is why we're doing this right here to talk to people. But when you walk around with a gun and scare people and take a camera out and all you do is like point the cell phone over here, f this, f that, f this. How do you educate people that way? I just don't get it. The same thing when they say, well, I served in the military for 20 years. I'm a combat vet. Well, I went to Iraq twice in 2003 when the war started. A lot of guys went after the fact. No, I went during the war, where we didn't have cokes and burgers. We actually ate one meal a day, and it was really bad. And I went to Afghanistan several times, and I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? When you put yourself out there, if you're a military member, saying I'm a retired Marine, and you f this, f that, and screaming like a crazy man, you're embarrassing me and embarrassing every military member that served. You would think after 20 years in the military, you will have the decency to not curse. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You would
Yeah.
know how to speak. Now that you're 40 years old and you did 20 years as a Marine, you would think you would know how to speak, but you don't. And I don't think they do any benefit to us in the gun community versus I think they're just trying to get a video that's going to go viral. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you look at some of these channels, you will see 20, 30 channels, 20, 30 videos, and then one video has like 100,000 views, and the other video have like 50 views. Why? Because that's the video that went viral. Come on, people. YouTube doesn't pay that much,
Nah.
so
That's
yeah,
one thing I'm learning
I,
out. I get
yeah,
like 13 cents for all the videos I have a month. That's
yeah.
an insane amount of money.
I saw a video one time has millions of views, and this guy is like driving around in an RV, and finally he finds a cop pulling somebody over, and like he gets out of the RV and walks to the cop while the cop is doing a traffic stop. The number one most dangerous thing that a cop could do is a traffic stop,
Yeah.
not a domestic, not an act, a traffic stop. You don't know what's gonna happen in a traffic stop. And this guy walks to the cop with a camera and a gun. So the cop is like, hey man, what are you doing? Kind of thing. Stops him, start talking to him. The first thing he says is like, I don't have to show you my ID card because the right. Like, shut up, man.
Uh, yeah.
What are you doing? You're gonna get shot. You walk to a cop doing a traffic stop. That's not a good idea. I don't know. I don't know what some people are thinking. To tell you the truth,
They're just
I just don't
overzealous
know, man.
idiots, really. Because I mean, when you, in my mind, the only time you should open carry is if you're a security officer or a police officer. That where you have to get to your gun quickly, and that is a sign of authority. That's the only time I could see to open carry and all that. Um, I should
You,
make a video on all that.
I mean, I open carry. The other day, I open carry a revolver. I got a new holster. I don't even know what the holster is. I think it's upstairs. I got a new holster, and I carry my 357 revolver. And I wanted to carry my revolver concealed, but it is not working out concealed. It prints way too much. So I got kind of upset, and I, took my shirt over and open carry for a little bit. But again, I don't care if you want to open carry or not. I'm all about it. Carry a gun. If that is the only, I prefer conceal carry. But if that is the only way you could carry a gun, carry a gun. Because in North Carolina, you could buy a gun, you could put it in your belt and walk around. You don't have to have a conceal permit. I don't know if
Really?
that's probably different down there. Yeah,
Yeah, it's completely different
In
down
North,
here.
in North Carolina, I don't know if you have to be 21. But if let's say for instance you're 21 years old, if you want to come here and I go, hey man, you want to carry my Glock 17 and you put it in your belt and walk around, as long as it's not concealed, it's straight up legal.
Wow.
No issues with that. Now, if to conceal a gun, you have to have a conceal permit, which I do. My wife do too. But again, if you want to open carry, open carry. I open carry too. I don't care. But the point is that if you're gonna carry a rifle and walk inside Walmart, you're probably gonna have some. I'm telling you, man. If I'm there with a CCW and you walk in Walmart with an AK-47 strapped to your back, I don't know. I will probably tell my wife, "Pick up, we gotta leave," because I can't be there with you next to me
Oh, I
like
know.
that.
I
I mean,
mean,
I probably will follow you. You'll be walking aisle two, and I'm like right behind you, just in case you flip out or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would do, man. I just don't think it's a good idea. But yeah,
yeah,
go.
no. I mean, some of these. I mean, that's on handguns, and I have that opinion, and I'm not going to tell anybody else to do it. That's what they should do and stuff. That how I look at it, and I should do a video because that's a whole 9 yards about it. But even logical people can just look and think, okay, he's carrying a handgun on his side. Handguns are their sole purpose is a secondary weapon. It is a backup weapon for if your rifle or your shotgun runs out of ammo, you have to go to that firearm. So therefore, the same purpose carries over to concealed carry and just carrying it around all day. It is only there if you have to use it. It's not the primary means of offensive or defensive protection. It is
Yeah.
there if you need it. A rifle means you are expecting trouble. I mean, a right you didn't go into combat with just a SIG on your side, right? You went in with like what, an AR?
Yeah, I mean, you name one. At one point, I had an AR with a 203, a pistol, M67 grenades, you name it, man.
Man, that
It's
is
too many
awesome.
guns. It's too many guns. But I mean, I don't think I definitely don't think that we should give that right away. Once you start giving rights away, you can never get them back.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I definitely believe that you should be able to open carry a rifle if you want to. I just think that as you carrying that rifle, and by the way, people, we didn't even know we were going to talk about this, so this is like I didn't sit down and wrote it down my answers. But as you carrying that rifle, you got to keep in mind that some things that you may do is not going to be good, and it's going to be taken out of context. If you walk inside Walmart with your rifle strapped to your body, you may face some kind of issue, and don't get mad when people come and ask you questions, because there's an active shooter situation every time. Every other day we see somebody getting killed. And yeah, I get the point. Well, he's not doing anything wrong. Yeah, he's not doing anything wrong, but you look suspicious, man. When you have two crazy guys in Vegas that walk to a place and execute two people, and then you have a guy walking around with an AK-47, you're scaring people, and this is the problem when you scare people. And I think the main prepper did a video on this, and like he hit the nail on the head. You got three different sides of people. You got people that support the Second Amendment, you got people that don't, and you got people that don't care. That group that don't care is like the majority. Every time you do something like that, you getting those guys that don't care into that not supported group. So eventually, this don't care group and non-supporter are going to make decisions that it's going to affect you, and we're seeing that all over the nation. There's a bunch of states already that have laws open carry privilege because what we've done. So if you think walking inside one with a rifle is beneficial to us, to our campaign, to what we're trying to accomplish, it's not. You're actually hurting us. And yeah, like you said, well, I heard a guy saying in the news, well, my wife needs to defend herself. You don't need an AK-47 to defend yourself as self-protection. You need a pistol. If you want your wife to protect herself, buy her a 38 special. Very easy, 5 rounds, easy to load. I tell you what, I went to buy a gun for my wife the other day, and the first thing that she told me, which is awesome, my wife is awesome. She's like, "Well, if I get the 38 special, I put it in my purse. I don't have to replace the magazines because in the Glock 19, we take the bullets out and the rounds out, and we replace the mag once a week or something like that, so you don't mess up the springs." She's like, "I don't even have to worry about it. I could put them in there. I mean, the rounds are inside the cylinder." And I thought that was pretty cool that she actually,
Knew that much,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, buy her 38 special. Buy her a Glock, 26, something small that she could maneuver. So I mean, AK-47. Trust me, I've been around those guns all my life, all my Marine Corps career, almost over a decade. Those are difficult weapons to utilize anyway. So, but anyways, I mean, I definitely don't think that we should give up those rights. So we need to stay with them because once you're giving them up, you're not gonna get them back. That's just
Yeah.
what I think.
Well, yeah, I agree. Like, we shouldn't be. I'm not here saying, okay, it should be completely illegal to open carry any kind of weapon at all. Because, while I wouldn't do that, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop somebody else from doing it. If somebody feels the need that, or just say they're coming from a hunting trip and they decide to walk to Walmart before they walk back home and they just have the rifle over their back, that's just a common accident. He's not thinking about the rifle over his back. He's just thinking, I need to get home, but let me grab some chips on the way home.
Yeah,
There's going to be stuff like that happening, and of course there's always going to be a need where you have to carry some kind of weapon on you where it's easy to get to and you don't have to dig through clothes to get it. So
yeah.
I'm
It's also, I mean, if you strap it to the back to your back, it's something else. Like some of the pictures that I saw, the guys actually have it in the front, holding the pistol
Oh
grip.
yeah.
So that's kind of like the low ready. You're the low ready. From there, you go to the, you know what I'm saying, to the high ready, ready to engage. So I don't know, man. It's kind of difficult situation. Me personally, I think that it's not being beneficial to our cause and it's hurting us. But I mean, I could be run. I've been run before many times, but I wouldn't do it. So, and if people wants to do it, do it. But if I see you doing it, I will probably quickly walk away from you because I don't know you, man. You don't know me
Yeah.
neither. So I don't know what you're gonna do.
And one channel did it. I think it was Brother's Keeper. He did a video about it, asking people, and a few people told him, if you walk into a store with an AK just like that, you're gonna get shot. There's about 3 people who are concealed carrying are gonna point their guns at you and tell you to back off because they have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly why I wouldn't do something like that because unless you have a security officer uniform on, or if you're police, or if you're something like that, then of course have it on
Yeah.
the outside of you and stuff like that. But if you're just walking around like that, people
Yeah.
don't know what to think of you and all that. But yeah, that we definitely didn't plan that. I had target on the stuff, but we hit all around that and all that. But yeah, I mean, I know plenty of people who want to open carry, and I even ran into one guy today. I had to run to the dump to get some stuff to throw a bunch of trash away, and the guy in front of me had a handgun on his side, and I was looking at the handle, and I could not figure out what it was. So I just walked up to him and asked, "Hey, sir, would you mind me asking what you have on there?" He's like, "Oh, sure, it's a 45 Beretta." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I talked about him about it a little and just walked off. I'm
Yeah.
one of those kind of guys,
Yeah.
but you know,
I think having open carry is critical for one reason too. If you conceal carry, they may be a situation where you go to the bathroom or something like that, and let's say you're at a restaurant because that kind of happened to me. You go to the bathroom, you come out, and your shirt kind of lift up a little bit, showing the handle of your pistol. Uh, in that situation, if somebody comes to you and he says, "Hey, you have a gun?" Yeah, sure, brother, I got a gun. You want to see it? It's not illegal. But if you find yourself in a state that is not illegal, they may call the cops on you. Now you may face some kind of situation where, you know what I'm saying, you were showing a gun or something, and it could be you could have some legal issues. And the fact of the matter that the only thing you did was go to the bathroom and didn't realize that your shirt was a little bit up, you
I
know.
agree. Yeah.
So for things like that, or like I got a buddy up in California. He said every time he comes, yeah, that's a communist state. But every time he goes shooting, like he has to put his guns in a case, and he can't really show his guns. And I cannot tell you how many times I walk out to go shooting, and I and I just walk out with my shotgun and put it in the back of the car, or my rifles, my pistols. I mean, I could just not see myself putting everything inside a case, opening the door, looking outside, making sure no one is there, run to the car. Come on, man,
Yeah,
that's
throw
ridiculous.
it in a few rugs and
Yeah,
carry it with
yeah,
your brother out there. Make
yeah.
it look like a
A lot
drug
of
dealer.
times, like right now, if I'm gonna walk out and I carry the gun, I won't even put it. Let's say if I gotta go and pick up my wife or something, I wouldn't even put it in my pants. I just walk around with my guns like that, put it in the car, go and pick up my wife, and come back. So of course, if I get out of the car, I'll put it in my pants. But you know what I'm saying? So in that kind of situation, I like open carry because of that, me
Yeah,
personally. But
there are definitely benefits to it. I'll agree, but main reason personally I don't like it for me is because I know handguns scare some people. I mean, guns period. Just some people just see that and they're,
yeah,
oh no, it's dangerous. So if I can not scare people and get them to talk and they would talk to me just to have a friendly conversation, I want to do that. It's like if I got a dragon tattoo on my face, that would scare a lot of people away from me because they think I was a gangbanger or something. So I just want to get a
yeah,
tattoo on my face, and more people would talk to me.
yeah,
It's sort of that, but you can go into some people go, oh, it gives away tactical advantage and all that stuff, and you know
yeah. I mean,
that's
I would say kind of like to wrap up this thing, jump into the next thing, but I would say carry a gun as long as it's legal, whatever way you can. If you don't have any other, I prefer CCW, conceal, for many different reasons. But if you cannot, because you don't have the money, because this is something else. Like in North Carolina, you're looking at over about $150 to get a gun. I mean, to get a conceal permit.
wow.
So now young kid that barely make any money save 300 to 400 bucks to buy a decent used pistol, and then you tell me that I have to save $90 for a class and so many fee, like 150 bucks total. People may not afford it. So if you cannot afford it, or whatever reason you are, carry a gun. If it's open carry, carry a gun. Some people will like it, some people don't. If they don't like it, hey, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I was Ross, and I was in the my wife was trying out some clothes, and there was a guy there carrying a 1911, which was beautiful 1911, and he walked away, and the two ladies started talking, gossiping, automatic, like, oh my gosh, he had a gun.
Uh huh.
And she started like bringing me to the conversation. I was like, "Man, don't bring me into this one. You have no idea what I'm carrying underneath this nice-looking shirt that you see. You have no idea what I got under this." But yeah, I mean, I'm like, carry a gun. If people get mad, people get mad. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Somebody comes with me and tells me, "Hey, I got an issue with you carrying a gun." I will say, "Okay, well, nice meeting you," and keep walking. I don't care.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's almost like a lot like being a Christian and being open about it. Some people are like, oh, you're a Christian, but why are you such a hateful person and all that's intolerant? And it, if you're openly anything, you're gonna suffer for it.
Yeah. Well,
It comes with the
the
territory.
the problem with that is that you have these guys that we have to agree with everything they said, but they wouldn't. And we cannot judge them. We cannot judge you for doing this and that, because how dare we Christian to judge you because of that? But at
Yeah,
the same time, if we do something, they you a Christian, how you did that? And when I mean judge, I don't mean like I mean like how can I point something out about you? Like if you're doing something wrong, and I say, man, you know what? You shouldn't do that. You you should learn about this. Let's try to do this. We understand that we're all sinners, but let's try to do this together. Oh, how dare you point that out? But if you do something wrong, they will hammer you so bad.
you're a
It's
Christian. You
just
should know
crazy.
better.
You should
Yeah,
know better. Well, you know what? We all made mistakes, and
Yeah.
that's the problem. We all made mistakes. It was proven that we made mistakes. God had to send His Son to die for us because every other man that He put in charge messed up.
Uh huh.
And these guys were more holy than me and you. Then you, this guys talk to God. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That
Exactly.
had to
Yeah.
be pretty cool. Like God talks to you. I mean, like Moises and all those guys back there, like they talk to God, and they still messed up.
Uh huh.
Why? Because I mean, that's
They're
it
human.
happens. Yeah. So you can't do nothing about it. So that's why Jesus came here and died for us.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Now let's hit a lighter topic that most likely won't get into politics. And um, have you ever been to a Gander Mountain?
no, no, but my little brother goes there all the time.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
a lot like Bass Pro Shops stuff like that. But one opened up near in our area. It's like 10 minutes from where I work. So I found it's been open for a few months. So I'm like, okay, I have some extra money now. I'm gonna go in there see what I can get, and I loved it because I walked in and the ammo were on shelves. They weren't behind the glass. They weren't behind the shelf. That like 12 gauge, 9 millimeter, 5.56. All the ammo was on the shelves there for you to look at and for you to sort through. Look at the prices, compare the prices, look at the quality of the ammo like that. It was all right there, and I loved that. Now I didn't quite have the money to get all the stuff all the ammo I wanted to. I just picked up some buckshot and a box of slugs. But yeah, and it's funny how I was thinking about it driving back home. I'm like, man, that was awesome. I could actually look at this ammo instead of asking somebody, hey, what do you have? I could just see for it myself. Well, on the way back, I needed to go by Walmart to grab something, and sure enough, I was walking by the ammo section, and I saw they had a better price on ammo than I thought they did. So I went to pick up some more birdshot and different stuff like that. Well, I stood there for around 10 minutes. I mean, walking around seeing if there's an associate for me to ask, and nobody was around. And go figure, they called the person back to that station for some reason, and the girl was in the hair section getting stuff for her hair. So I had to wait for that girl to get back to the station so I could ask her to get the ammo out of the station. Whereas back at Gander Mountain, I could have just picked it up out of the box. I mean,
Yeah.
why aren't more people doing that? That's just
Yeah. Well, Walmart does got some deals every now and then, but yeah, you have to deal with the hassle. I bought a rifle there one time, shotgun one. I bought one of my guns in there one time, and the lady was giving me such an attitude. And you're not married yet, but when you get married, I mean, you're not married, right?
no, far from
Yeah,
it.
when you when you get married and you go there with your wife, and a girl gives you an attitude, you gotta control your wife, because the wife don't like it when girls give attitudes to the husbands.
It's the my chew
But
toy reaction, right?
yeah, yeah, but yeah, man, you know what I'm saying. Some people, some Walmart sometimes have these employees that are not happy for whatever reason, and it
Yeah.
is what it is,
I
man.
mean, I can understand it. I didn't give the girl too much hard time because I've worked at Ingles for 3 years at grocery store, just working up front and stuff. So I can understand how they feel sometimes. But that just got me. You're staying that far, that you're taking that long on your job to go get natural hair stuff when I'm over here waiting to get ammo, and there's two or three people over here waiting for something else. Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So
But I think, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but what I do is that every paycheck, I buy some ammo. Every single paycheck. So when I get paid, when my wife gets paid or something like that, whenever somebody gets paid, I go and buy some ammo. And you'd be surprised if you start stocking up how much ammo you're gonna have in 6 months. You'd be surprised. Uh,
okay.
so especially 9 mil. Um, yeah, pick up 9 mil. Just even though if you don't have a pistol yet, whatever pistol you're planning to buy, start buying some ammo for it. Because when you buy the pistol, then you already have the ammo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, are
That
you
look.
looking to buy? You say you're gonna turn 21, so you're gonna be looking to buy a pistol soon?
Yeah, that's actually something I didn't have on the cue card that I might as well ask you. I'm looking into getting a when I turn 21, of course. The Smith and Wesson Shield in 9 millimeter. Um,
Yeah, I love mine.
that's what I was gonna say. I've seen you make comments about yours, and out of all the reviews that I've seen on the Smith and Wesson Shield, only one person had an issue with it, and that was even a questionable issue. It was the Yankee
Mhm.
Marshall with the trigger with the safety going on and off on its own, which you know, I watched the guy
You know,
do his gun stuff, but he's just yeah, I don't think he has his head screwed on straight all the time.
I mean, that's what's I watch him all the time. He's funny. He makes some funny stuff, but you got to think it's everyone's opinion on it. The whole safety issue. I carry a gun in combat. I carry a Beretta, and we use our guns. And I never had an issue with the safety. Now, if I have the choice, I would take off the safety. But I never found any issues with the safety. As long as you train to take off the safety, it becomes muscle memory. Um, so that's one step that you got to train on. Plus, I got the shield off there. Plus, I got to tell you on the shield, the safety, the way that the safety is positioned, if you take it off, you won't even touch it. Like I think it was James Yeager did a video on that. If you take off the safety and you put it on fire and you never touch the safety, you will probably never touch it because it is so flush to the slide that you won't even see it. Like
Yeah,
the Beretta and the 1911s usually are like this big things on the side. You barely could touch it. But the new shields, so far what I heard is that they're gonna come without safeties. So you have that choice. If not, I don't know. Have you seen the MMP 9C?
yeah, I've seen that. Those also are you can choose to have the safety on it or not.
Yeah. Now that's a really really good pistol too. You got to think if I will be buying my first pistol, and I mean I got several pistols and revolvers and things, but if I will be buying my first pistol, I don't know if the shield will be my first pistol though, because the shield is a great pistol. I love it, but it's straight up a concealed carry gun. It has 7+1 or 8+1, depending on the magazine that you use. It's a single stock, easy to conceal. It's a great gun, but for me, it's a concealed gun. I don't know if that make any sense.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not it's not a go to war pistol. I don't consider that a go to war pistol. There are some pistols out there that you will get higher capacity for about the same price, like the Glock 26. You know what I'm saying? That's a
yeah,
good choice. MMP 9C, that's a good choice. They're still small pistols. They're still easy to conceal, but the ability that you have is that with the Glock 26, you buy a couple of Glock 17 magazines. Now you got 17+1. With the MMP 9C, you buy the MMP 9 mag. Now you got, I think it carries like 17 too. I can't remember right now. So you know what I'm saying? That little package, easy to conceal, but you can make it a go to war pistol so quick, and you don't
yeah.
have that. You don't have that chance with the MMP shield.
All right.
Uh, so what I'm trying to say is that you will find yourself buying a second pistol very quick.
Oh,
That's just my opinion, but I
oh
still
yeah,
love it though. If
it's definitely in my plans to if I get the shield now, to definitely get a full size handgun. Yeah, just for battle or target practice. I
yeah,
definitely the whole philosophy of getting the shield was I wanted something that without any question I could carry with me and all that stuff. And if you don't know, I'm 6'1", I'm weigh like 140 or 135. I have an anemic frame, so
yeah.
I'm not sure if I could hide the double stack on me that great.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you got a good holster, yeah, everything for a pistol is a good holster. If you got a really good holster, you should be able to. I mean, I used to conceal Glock 7, or I do all the time, and Glock 17 as well. But I'm a big kid too, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean, the shield is a great pistol. I got a video coming up. I just haven't been able to finish it, but I got so much footage already of me shooting the shield that I want to compile that and make a kind of like a review. The thing that I don't like at the beginning is if you load the magazines. I think it's 7+1. If you put 7 rounds, that last round is like very very difficult to put in the magazine. And then when you put the mag inside the pistol, like it has a lot of pressure. Like the Glock 17, you could just take out the mag, put it on very quick. On the shield is like really hard. Like you put that mag and you have to like hit it really hard to get it to see. But it's getting
Okay.
better now. It's getting better now. I don't know if I gotta break in the pistol or something, but it's getting a little bit better now. So, but I still love it though. It's a good choice if you want to go for it.
All
I
right.
think I paid three ninety nine for it, so about $400. Maybe you could find a used for a better price, but about $400. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed out a few weeks ago just because it wouldn't be legal for me to buy it. But one guy here in Georgia, I was looking on armslist.com. He was trying to sell his shield, and he dropped it down to like 380. I mean,
Hmm.
he was just trying to get rid of it. I'm thinking, man, I have to be out of time with this. But um, main reason I'm asking about the shield and different stuff is how smart is it to like buy a holster, buy the ammo before you actually get the gun? You know?
No, I think it's smart. I think it's completely smart. I mean, if you set for that pistol, yeah, it's definitely a smart thing to do. Especially 9 mil. Start buying 9 mil. If that's gonna be the gun that you got to realize one thing, and I mean, I don't know what are you into. Like, I'm a prepper in a way. I stock up on guns, I stock up on weapons and things like that. So if you start buying ammo and you start storing that ammo, eventually you're gonna have a lot. Like, I think I just put. I'm not gonna say how much I have, but I just hit a big number in the 9 mil count yesterday. I bought 100 more rounds, and it was like a big number. So I was like, yeah. Uh, so um, so yeah, that is super smart because it costs a lot of money. And if you don't have the budget and you're trying to save up to it, you buy 100 rounds once a month, man. 2 3 years from now, you're gonna have thousands of rounds. Something ever happened like the 9 mil? Uh, it was so crazy to buy 9 mil here in
For
North
like the
Carolina. It was
22.
like gone, gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and two, like I went to the store like a month ago and they had them for 9 mil for like 17.99, and the guy's like, "You want 2 packs?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want 2 packs. Why? Because I have so much that I don't have to waste $4 or $5 more a box. I'll wait until you have it for 13.99." And I came back the next day. They had American Eagle for 13.99. I picked up 2 boxes.
Yeah.
So something ever happened, you could use that ammo too to trade. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many things that you could do. So I would definitely advise you to start buying ammo. 1 box anytime you can, and start and stock them up. And if you see my video on the mission concealment holsters,
I
that
don't think so. I've been
yeah,
trying to
go,
watch up, but I haven't yet.
yeah, go and search for my video on mission concealment, and that guy will give you a discount if you put Jarhead 6. I can't remember if it's 5 or 10%. I carry a mission concealment holster that he made for me, and his name is Ron, and he does great job. Like he got some nice holsters. I'm actually gonna pick up 2 more holsters probably next month. So and he has them for a good price. I think it's like $45 for inside the waistband
That's
holster,
nice.
the waistband, whatever you want. I mean, it does a really, really good job. Just go and watch our video, and you're gonna see. But yeah, I would go for it, man. I would definitely go for it.
All right. That's that's good. I mean, I'm already trying to work it into my budget to just buy the handgun. So I was definitely gonna try buying the a gun belt and different stuff. Not partially because my belt is getting worn out. I've had it
Yeah.
for 3 years, and the holes are starting to tear apart and different stuff like that. So I've been trying to do that. And along that line, I had the you saw the review on it. The neck knife
Yep.
I
Yeah, I
specifically
just saw
bought
the
this
video.
for yeah, I specifically bought this to wear it inside the waistband to train myself to carry one day. And actually, I've been carrying it for about 2 months like this whenever I can. Um,
Hmm.
and the only time somebody said anything to me about it, I mean, 2 weeks ago, I carried it through a week-long camp or church camp. I carried it through. Nobody noticed it. Nobody said anything about it. I mean, I had it appendix style, and
Hmm.
nobody noticed it. I didn't have to pull it out. Nobody said anything about it. So that sort of taught me one or two things about just concealed carrying. Period.
Yeah.
Like especially that's why I through my studies I'm sort of a fan of appendix carry because if it prints at all, it's just another fold in the front of your shirt. Like you
Yeah.
can't bend over in a certain way to make it look like a gun. But
Yep.
there again, I have no experience in that matter. That's just all speculative study.
Yeah, I mean, I carry at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Sometimes I carry at 1 o'clock, but I only do that. Like if I go out right now and just wearing like regular shorts or something, I make it down real quick. I put it at 1 o'clock because I can grab it out of the car, put it there, and go inside the store, pick up something, come back in the car. But technically, typically, I don't carry at 1 o'clock. I carry at 3:30, 4 o'clock, just because sitting down and driving. 1 o'clock is just getting my way. Plus, since I left the Marine Corps, I gained like 30 pounds, and I got a little bit of belly now.
Yeah,
So those strap muscles that I used to have up here kind of went away. So
it sort of went
uh,
from buff to your duff, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. If you go and see some of my first videos, because I started about a year ago too, to now, you could tell I gained a little bit of weight. But yeah, I mean, I don't like it, man. I cannot carry a fixed blade here in North Carolina because it's illegal. You have to carry a folding blade. But I tell a lot of guys when it comes to this, try because I call it an epidemic. There's an epidemic here in YouTube of cool guys. Guys are so cool with the cool gear that will preach a bunch of things, and they have this big, large channels, and all they do is talk about, oh, I carry my Glock 17 with a light and 6 magazines and a first aid kit. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm just a basic guy. I am not an operator. I went to combat and I did operations in real life, but I'm not an operator. I'm just a civilian now. So I tend to tell people what works for me as a civilian. You know what I'm saying? So if it gets, my advice will be if it gets there and if it's not on the way and you could carry well, do it. But if it's not, a folding knife will do as well. And it's
oh
very
yeah.
easy to carry as well. You know what I'm saying?
I always can't have
So,
a. I don't have it on me now. I've carried folding blade knives on me for 7 years about. I mean, it's all always like 3-inch blades and stuff like that. But
yeah.
it's like putting your wallet on you, really. But before I bought the knife, I made sure it was legal to do that, and I explained that in the video. In Georgia, it's as long as the blade is under 5 inches or under, it doesn't matter how you carry it or what the knife is. So you don't have to have a permit for it, and
Yeah.
that's sort
I
of cool.
just I just did a ADC video and I point out that I didn't have a flashlight. So one of my good buddies sent me this flashlight. So I'm
That's
probably gonna do a
awesome.
yeah, I'm gonna do a video on this soon. But very small, very compact, and that's what I'm looking for, man. I look for things that I could carry. The worst thing that you could do is get something that you're uncomfortable, something that you will not carry. Carry something that you're gonna carry all the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get into if you get married and things like that, and you buy something for your wife, get her something that she's gonna carry. Don't get her something that she's not gonna carry, or you. You know what I'm saying? The moment that if you buy, let's say you buy a Glock 17 and you leave it home because it's too big, go and buy yourself a smaller gun.
I
But whatever
agree.
you carry, I don't care if it's a 22 or 380, make sure you carry that all the time. And that's what I would advise everyone. Buy something that you're comfortable. Like the shield. I could put the shield on in the holster. Man, I forget that it's there. I mean, technically, it's just there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very easy to carry, very easy, and that's what you want. You don't want something that is going to be in the way. A Glock 17 is awesome, MP9 is awesome, but they're large weapons. I mean, anytime you move, you're gonna feel it. I laugh at these guys that say, "Oh, I carry this Glock 17 with a TLR 3 light, and I barely feel it." Like, seriously, how can you not feel this big thing? Come
Yeah.
on, if you don't feel this big gun at a 1 o'clock, is something wrong with you. Maybe you don't have feeling in your body or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you have
But
nerve damage from carrying that all the
yeah,
time.
come on, man. Uh,
Yeah. I mean
so
that's one thing I've seen through all my studies on YouTube and all that is, and even I do it. Like I don't have a large wallet on me because it's a pain to sit on.
Yeah.
Same thing, even the phone I have, this is one I need to shoot because it's dying on me. But
Mhm.
I don't like those Galaxy Notes ones.
Oh,
You're carrying a laptop on you because
my
I
wife
couldn't
got
do
one of
that.
those. Yeah, I,
I mean,
my wife got that big one.
it's like, and when you go to talk, you're holding a lotion bottle to your face. It's just massive. How do you do that?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
know, right? I got the regular S4 Galaxy. I shot videos with this for like months, man. Like people would tell me, "Oh, how do you do your videos?" This. Now I got a little camera, which I bought it black, but it came in red. I don't care. So
Yeah.
little tripod. I put it on top of my barbecue out there, and that's how I record.
That's awesome. See,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to buy a new camera because the camera I've been using moved up to Virginia with my older brother, so I've got to work the money up on that, and I might have to shoot some more videos with this
yeah.
2-year-old phone.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? If you look into the videos, and I get some questions sometimes. I mean, by no means I'm a bigger channel. I don't even know how people subscribe to me, man. I'm in shock that some people actually listen to me. But if you see some of my first videos to now, I done major improvement and just editing, going
Yeah,
out there. Like I use iMovie. Go and watch a bunch of videos. Like people tell me, how do you do that? Man, you know what? I spend 2 days of watching videos on iMovie, and by the end of those 2 days, you're gonna know how to do a bunch of things. I mean,
huh?
you know what I'm saying? You just gotta utilize whatever editing software you're doing to the full capacity, or
Yeah,
buy one that is really good. So, um, yeah, definitely, man. It's YouTube is YouTube is crazy, pretty interesting place.
yeah. Most stuff I've
So
learned how to do my videos better is just learning on my own and watching what other people do. Like I have subtitles because Yankee Marshall. There again, I saw like, hey, like I'm ADHD. You got to keep my attention, and putting the subtitles on there, even though half of them aren't worth reading and stuff. They kept my attention. They added something to the video, so I
mhm.
started doing that. Like I would sit there watching myself talk to the camera. I'm like, I that's really funny. Let me make fun of myself on the screen, and so and just watching my videos like, hey, I don't really like how I do that. How could I do this better? Just
Yeah.
working the software and all that.
I would. It's a couple of rules, man, that I try to do. Sometimes I don't comply with my own rule, but the first rule is like no one cares about your side stories, side comments. Like sometimes we start talking and we start talking about all this and this. Sometimes people just want to see whatever you're showing and they want to see straight up what you think about it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, sometimes it happens to me. I start talking about a phone, and next thing you know, I'm talking about how do I made it there? So what I done is that I write notes down sometimes to make sure I stay concentrated on the product review, whatever. Like I did one about a backpack the other day. Just talk about that. Don't get into because I was gonna get into like when I was in Iraq, I used let's just talk about the pack and keep it nice and short, man. Like I try not to go over 5 minutes. Usually, I stay between 3 to 5 minutes because if it's too long, people won't watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and I just learned this about maybe a couple of months ago. My buddy Bush Hunt, which he said he's listening, and he should have been here, but I guess he's too busy to hang around with Jar
Too
Six.
busy in the bushes.
Yeah, yeah, but the whole B rolls, like throwing pictures as you talking. That's you be talking and a picture comes out or a different video comes out and things like that. I just learned how to do that maybe a couple of months ago, and I've been doing that, and it's pretty effective. People like it a lot in a way. So and one of the guys was like, "Hey man, nice B rolls," and I was like, "What's a B roll?" I didn't even know what it was, and I was doing it.
I
But
need to
yeah,
catch.
yeah, man, I tell you, man, making videos, a lot of people like to criticize, but it's difficult. It takes a lot of time, and I enjoy it though, because like right now, I just got a comment from one guy. He said he liked the message, man. The comment went away. I'll say like the message. God is in control. You're right. God bless America. So you know what I'm saying? Guys like that you could preach the word of God. That's awesome. And I got a bunch of trolls following me. For the trolls following me, I don't care if you're gonna dislike my videos. You can dislike them all you want. I don't care. You can
I
continue watching them. So
I had one of those on like one of the first few videos I made. It was something about five different kinds of people that I don't think should own guns. And I said in that video, this is not to propose for legislation. This is something for you to think about if you have anger management issues or you are like this. You need to think about if you should own a gun. And boy, I got torn to pieces about, well, we don't need any more legislation. You don't deserve a firearm. You shouldn't be on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So I made a video, and at the end of it, I said, keep trolling, my friends. I just,
yeah.
just put that in all that stuff. Because,
Oh man, I've been called Mexican. I've been called terrorist. I've been called I've been called a murderer. People have emailed. You know, you just gotta let it. Eventually, it's gonna get to the point that you just don't care. You just go. You read the comment and you just go like, okay, delete. Don't even answer because
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Not gonna waste my time on it. So
yeah, get a
I
laugh and
don't
throw the
care.
carrot away.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have the YouTube operators. You know, the guys that know everything about guns. And I got to tell you, man, I don't know much about guns. I know a little bit, but I'm not an expert by any means. And if you watch my videos, I say it all the time. I'm not an expert by any means. If you have a plan and it works for you, continue using your plan because there's a lot of different ways to accomplish a mission. The thing about it is that the more information you get, it's more tools inside your toolbox. So you never even know what tool you're gonna get out of your toolbox. You know, this thing happens. Okay, let me utilize this technique. Oh, this happened. Okay, let me use this technique. So people that are closed-minded and they don't want to know anything else other than what works for them, you missing out. You need to listen as much as you can, and then come out with your ways to approach an idea or approach a situation. But some people, no, the only good rifle is the AK-47. Well, you know, I bet the different. The good rifle is the one that you have when something happens. I don't
Yeah,
care if it's a 1022. I prefer to have a 1022 that have nothing.
I agree.
So, but you don't have a real gun unless you have a Glock. I
Yeah,
bet the different.
that's what I love too. When I said something about when to get a handgun, I can't tell you how many people. Oh, get a Glock 19. Okay, I'm like, really? I just say a handgun, you automatically say a Glock. Now, when my older brother thought about, told me he's
You
thinking
gotta be
about maybe
careful,
getting
dog.
a
'Cause
handgun.
you gotta be careful because I'm a Glock fan. So
Oh,
careful.
I love Glocks too. I had shot one and I did a video on that. In a Glock versus 1911. I always go on the Glock side, but I don't
Yeah.
bash 1911 at all. But
No, man. I've
when
been trying to buy 1911 for the last 2 months. I've been trying to buy the Ruger 1911, the Commando side or Commander is I think it's 700 bucks right here in the. I got a store like 6 minutes away, but I just don't have the $700 to pawn on it.
oh, I
but
know.
I will soon. And my wife is listening. I will soon. So, but go
Yeah,
ahead, bro.
I mean, when my older brother said something about maybe wanting to get a handgun was if he got some extra money. I told him for you a good option would either be probably a revolver or a Glock, just because he's a techie. I mean, he thought about going to Georgia Tech and taking some sort of math classes for fun. His
Yeah,
tax return, he got like $900 back on his tax return because he's a student and all that stuff. He
yeah,
made his own computer out of it. I mean, he bought all the parts, put it together, and he has his own computer.
yeah.
I had him show me which laptop to buy. So he's not really a firearms oriented guy, or
That's what my boy, man. My biggest boy is like. I just made a website called Jarhead Six Compound, so you guys could go and check it out. But he was like, "Dad, can you help me build a website?" I'm like, "Dude, you're 10. What do you
you
mean
show
building
me how to do it.
what? Yeah, it's like you 10 years old and you want to build a website, go and play with your, your toys or something. Come on, man.
I agree.
But yeah, he's a little nerd. I love him though.
That's what I say. I'll call my brother, my older brother. He's my nerd brother, but me and him both joke about it. He's proud of it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like the Glock just because it's so simple, and I like how how the M&P and the XD series have sort of learned from that and kept it simple. Just add some little frills to it to make it look
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, I would. What I would do, man, to tell you the truth, they all work. Some people like the Glocks better. Some people like the M&Ps. I got to tell you, my wife was shooting the M&P Shield, and she was all over the place. And I'm looking at her and saying, "Oh man, she's all over the place." Let me not say anything. I don't want her to turn around and be like, "What?" or something. But she puts it down. She shot like 7 rounds. She put it down and she looked at me and said, "I don't like it." And she lost the Glock 19 that she has, and I'm telling you, she made a little perfect hole on that paper. Like 10 rounds to a little hole. And,
Wow.
and what I'm saying is that it is to that person. She likes that. She didn't the M&P Shield, even though I like it, and my little brother loves it. He was like, oh, and he has a Glock 23, so he has a 40 cal Glock. But when he shot the Shield, he was like, he loved it, but she didn't. So I mean, my point is like go into the store and hold it. Maybe you don't like. A lot of people don't like how the Glock feel in the hands. I like it, me personally, but maybe you don't. So M&P worked fine. The Glocks were fine. I like the Glock because it's simple. Just like you said, you put bullets on, you rock it back, and you shoot. That's it. I carry a revolver too. Revolvers are fun too. You put some bullets in there, close the cylinder, and you shoot. They're just simple guns, man. You know what I'm saying? And I like that,
Yeah.
me personally. So,
Yeah, I'm sort of simplistic and utilitarian, and I mean part of the reason I don't want to I don't like safeties on guns, and I like the Glock style of weapons better, is because I easily forget things. I mean, even today, there's some wasps flying around our trash cans. I had to get them away, so I grabbed our thing of bug spray and stuff. It was somewhere a container here, and then you have a little squirt bottle here,
mhm.
hooked together. Well, I go up to get the wasp, and I keep pulling the trigger, nothing happens. And snap, it breaks off. So I got mad, wondering what goes on, and I look at the nozzle, and somebody had turned it off. So I had to spin the nozzle around, and then a bunch of stuff squirted out of there. So wait, my thing is when I have to use a handgun, or if I have to use it, I most likely I'm going to forget that little safety on there. I would rather just have something where I can pull out and use it. I even keep
Yeah.
forgetting to when I use my shotgun or my 22. I always forget to take the safety off. I usually just leave it off because I'm going to forget to turn it on when I need to use it.
Yeah, I mean that's when
Uh,
training comes around, and you just got to do a lot of training,
yeah,
and one of the things that I like YouTube is that there's a lot of good channels that actually give you a lot of good training. So you just got to be able to look around and identify the channels that actually have experience and actually have training. And I mean, I'm not going to be like, there's a lot of guys here in YouTube that don't know anything. That all they do is have a nice freaking camera, $10,000 camera with a range, and they shoot and they pretend to be operators, and they will give you an excuse like, "I didn't join the military because of this and this and this." Whatever. You didn't join the military because you couldn't hack it, buddy. Don't be lying. You could
yeah,
just say, "Look, man, I didn't want to join the military." Okay, it's fine. That is straight up fine. But when you say like, "I didn't join the Marine Corps because whatever, man," but there's other channels out here that are police officers, and they have a lot of information as well. I'm not saying just the military, but there's a lot of Navy SEALs in here on YouTube. Man, if you want to learn something, I love to listen to Navy SEALs giving classes. I mean, they know what they're talking about. They have combat experience. They will tell you exactly what works and what doesn't work.
yeah,
So, but again, one last thing when it comes to that, nothing replaces the formal training. So having formal training is critical. You want to have an instructor that tells you, hey man, look, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, and things like that. Like I'm wearing my I went to the non-lethal instructor course, what was it, back in 2007. So it's been 7 years, man. I'm old. But anyway, now they call it lesson lethal, but it was non lethal back then. And they say that in order for you to have muscle memory, you have to do something like 3,000 times. And they weren't playing, man. We used to go outside for 2 weeks and do the same technique over and over and over until it just became part of your DNA. And that's why you see a lot of good guys out there because, you take that Beretta out, you automatically know to take the safety off. It just comes to you. You don't even have to think about it. But it takes a lot of training to get to that level.
Oh
And,
yeah.
for civilians, training costs money. For Marines, it's just, payers.
Yeah, my
So,
money there again.
yeah. So thank you for all the training.
Yeah. That's something
So,
I've definitely been trying to look into. Also, is trying to get some. Even with shotgun, I want to try getting a shotgun course, but there again, that's money, and I gotta try getting it on a Saturday when I'm not working and all
yeah.
that. So.
And don't get so caught up with some of the big channels. I'm not gonna mention names, but unless I train with this guy that has so many subscribers, I'm good. There's a lot of guys out there that have been doing this for a long time. You got guys that are NRA instructors and been doing classes for 35, 40 years. I mean, they're 60-year-old men, but I have one that was about a month ago in our AMFA network in our chats on target training from New Hampshire. That's his channel here on YouTube. I mean, the guy does great training because he's been doing it for so long. So just do some research, find a good school, and train with them. It does not have to be this guy on YouTube because he's like awesome. Whatever,
Yeah,
man. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah.
know
I
if you're
mean, I've
tracking. I don't know if you're tracking with what I'm saying, but
Oh, I know a few different people, but that's where like the verse in the Bible says, "In the multitude of counselors, there is safety." So that's why it does good to subscribe to a bunch of channels and see what a bunch of people say, not just what this big name guy says. And
yeah.
even when I was looking for some training, I looked for specifically in Georgia and all that. So yeah, it's
I mean,
big
not to say
out
if they
there.
don't do the training there is not good. It's probably good training as well. But just be open minded, especially when instructors. You'll be surprised how much. I mean, I teach Marines. That was my job for the last couple of years. I trained them to go to combat. I mean, you cannot train people more than that. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
I trained some of those guys in combat tactics. And as you look at instructors, each instructor is different. You may learn from some guys, you may learn from some other guy. Doesn't mean that that guy is better than the other guy. It's just you're not understanding that particular instructor. That's why when people ask me, especially about churches and nomination, that's what I always think about. Maybe you know what? Maybe you need to be in this nomination because that's how you learn. But me personally, I like learning this way. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I like it when people scream and jump in top of chairs and just run down the like do some crazy. I get motivated about that, but some people may find that scary. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But some people won't.
That's another thing I could alluded to in learn and preach because my style. If you watch any of them, I'm more of the guy who has to have a card up his sleeve. I mean, uh, most of the times I preached, I've either had illustrations about the military. I even have a message on the Marines, for Pete's
Mhm.
sake. And I've had some people, well, you need to cut the humor out of your preaching, or you need to just forget all the other language, just stick with the English and all that, and just all that stuff. But I've learned number one, experience, and number two, just look, listen to different people. Like what I liked our pastor did before he resigned earlier this year to be part of to be the director of mission board. He started having visiting preachers sit with us and say okay and give us some advice, and that's what I loved hearing it from different people, because even though they said the same thing, one guy said it differently than another, and that just helps it
Yeah.
click in your minds. And now,
Mhm.
there's always some guys who are always going to be clones of other people, whether it's going to be in the firearm world or Christian world, preacher world, whatever. There are always going to be some guys who are the loudest and who, act like they're the authority on everything, but they just copy what somebody else is doing. There's nothing original about them, but it's all in learning how you learn and doing it the best way you can, and not be stuck up on who's who. Oh, hold on a
Yeah.
minute. All right, family stuff. Yeah, that, but you know that you can see the world sort of meet in it all. It all fit. What is am I trying to say? The important thing is that you in firearms, you use what you can feel comfortable with and what you can work with the best. Like I know
No.
one guy at work said you stick a revolver in his hand, he couldn't hit a door standing 10 feet away from him, but put a Glock in his hand, back the door up to like 20 yards, so he can shoot the doorknob off of it.
Yeah.
And that that's something I'm looking forward to. Like iron sights, I might not be able to shoot iron sights that great, but maybe stick a scope on it and I'll do great. Or like the butt pad I have on the shotgun. I shoot a
Hmm.
lot better with that butt pad on because it adds length to the length to
Yep.
the shotgun, and it just makes it feel a lot better. It does nothing for the recoil. They need to stop calling them recoil pads because all it does is give you something softer jamming itself into your shoulder. Because
Yeah.
I specifically one time took it off. I'm like, what does it feel like without it? The recoil was the same, push you back all the same. It's just you have rubber going into your shoulder instead of wood.
Yeah.
So
I give you a fuzzy feeling that you have
yeah,
something there. So that's
but
what it is. I mean, sometimes it's gonna suck, you know. Like shooting a shotgun, it may suck. You just gotta deal with it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I get that question all the time too. What are you gonna do if you run out of ammo? What are you gonna do if you do this? What are you gonna do? Like I get questions like that all the time. What do you know? At one point, something is gonna go wrong, and you're just gonna have to adapt and overcome. You have Marines that train for 20 years, and they go to combat and they get killed, and we spend millions of dollars training these people, but they were walking down the road, and they stood up on top of an ID, boom, they're dead. And I'm telling you from experience, I've seen things like that happen in my patrols and things like that. So why? Because at one point something's gonna go wrong, you know. It's just gonna happen. So that's why I said it in my channel. I may have a bunch of Glocks, a bunch of pistols, a bunch of rifles, but my biggest prep is God. I pray every night, every morning, every time it comes to my mind. I pray for Him to protect me. And if you don't believe that, you just gotta, and you believe on whatever something else, and you have carry a gun. You know what? Just be realized that at one point something is gonna go wrong, and you're gonna have to react, and that's gonna be the key, reacting fast. You know, and I
yeah,
we did this in combat. If the first truck blows up because it hit an ID, what is the second truck is gonna do right now at that moment? And it has to be fast because if you second do so, you're probably gonna die. And it kind of reflects on the civilian life. You know, if somebody attacks you, what are you gonna do? You have to
yeah.
do something. So
I have a video on that also, sort of just by my speculative study is I called it situational acuity. Like we talk about situational awareness and all that stuff and being aware of your surroundings, but what happens when something goes wrong? And I gave an instance of a trip in New York I get where where a girl in our group just got separated from the group. We had no idea where she was, and it was my fault because I realized I didn't do the right thing, and I turned left when I should have turned right. So it's yeah, you can be prepared all you want, and I find myself doing that through the day. Like, um, okay, if something happens over here, how can I respond to it? Or I'm beside this person, something goes wrong, how can I, push them into cover or something like that? But we can be prepared all we want, but what if the plan goes wrong or all that? It,
yeah,
I see. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and click it off. This has been fun. I've done it with I've been on chats like this with a firearms guy and a few others of them like that. But I just love learning and like getting different people's viewpoints.
yeah. The firearm guy is crazy. He's a crazy guy, very motivated. I love watching. I'm like one of his big fans, and I actually had the chance to do a video with him a couple of like 2 weeks ago. Oh, you saw that video?
Yeah, the debate about the budget firearms and stuff.
Yeah. So we probably have something else coming up, but it was so much fun doing a video with him. When he contacted me and he was like, "Hey man, we got to do this," I was kind of like like a little girl or something, like thinking, "Oh, wow, you picked me," kind of
Yeah,
thing, man. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We're probably going to be doing something else in the near future. We're just looking for good topics that we kind of disagree. We can argue about things that we agree on, and
Yeah.
knowing that we are pretty much like-minded individuals, we kind of think the same in a lot of aspects. But as soon as we find a topic, we're going to go for round two again. So it's going to
Oh
be fun.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, thank you. Thanks for doing this, and I can't leave without telling you thanks. Thanks for all the years of service you've given our country, and thanks for making sure we're free.
yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you inviting me, and anytime you want to do it, as long as I'm free, let me know. If you guys haven't checked out my website, jarhead6compound.com. Yeah. So I just made it like a week and a half ago, and there's still a lot of things that I'm going to be doing to it. But the point is to write articles and put things, more information in the website, and like I said, I'm not an expert by any means, but I enjoy passing information out there, and I'm here to learn too. You'd be surprised how much information you learn. Like I learn a lot of things for a lot of subscribers all the time, so I appreciate that.
All
So
right. Yeah. Well, thank you. Again, thanks. And before we sign off, I want to remind everybody, as I do at the end of anything I do, is to walk a Christian walk and carry a loaded Glock. And also remember, God is in control too.